touchdown passes. Andre Roan caught that one. Came back out of the shotgun. His line gave him good protection. Deuce McAllister down the sideline, and they're knocking on the door for more.
And that man right there, Stuart Patrick, 10 of 14, 114 yards, 2 touchdowns. And, folks, that's in the third quarter.
He got hot.
University of Mississippi driving. 1st and 10. Deep in Marshall territory. Patrick's looking toward the end zone, and
boy, he should have had that one picked off. Larry Moore had a shot at that one.
Yeah, I'm going to comment on the fact, I think that it was the 6th game of the year when Tommy Tuberville turned this program around. They had gone to play at LSU. Ole Miss is 3-2. They just lost at Tennessee. They are trailing at halftime, and Tommy Tuberville told his players, we are not going to punt in the second half. We're going to come out and do whatever it takes to win the football game. They were 4 for 4 on 4th down conversions in the second half and beat LSU and went on to be able to qualify for a bowl bid. As that pass given to Avery, and now flags, whistles, you name it.
Now it's holding on Sheldon Morris, number 86, and Bob Pruitt was down the sideline, and he was going to make sure they threw that flag.
Boy, Pruitt almost made the tackle.
Yeah, he ran faster than John Avery did on that play. And that's the mistake you're looking for if you're Marshall. You want to stop this drive. Take it all the way back.
Offense. 10 yards, spot of the foul. Replay, second down.
Now, Jerry, that's not a good trade. All the way back to the 27 for a down.
Now they've got to get inside the 6-yard line to get a first down. Talking about Ole Miss, 2nd and a hike. Make it.
Maybe time for a draw here to John Avery. Some type of John Avery play.
Shotgun formation early in the 4th quarter. Patrick's pump fakes, looking deep, throws it up, and out of bounds. Intended for Sheldon Morris, and we have a flag in the backfield.
Devon Colburn's going to be called for holding. They're going to back this one up about a few more. You pace those from here.
Well, it'll be
third going the wrong way.
3rd in a day's ride. This penalty is stepped off.
Second down.
They're a long way from the 16-yard line where they were at a little while ago.
Well, and they've got to go to the 6-yard line to get a first down.
This is big right here because this game is still one Randy Moss pass away.
Yeah, Marshall by no means anywhere close to being out of this football game, but their quick strike capabilities, cold claw, Moss, Pennington, and this guy right here, Tommy Tuberville, he knows it. Not liking what he's seeing here early in the 4th quarter, and Ole Miss owned the 3rd quarter. And Pruitt now, Bob Pruitt, the head coach of Marshall, saying, well, we got to hold them here and get this defense off the football field.
Yeah, 2nd and 40. This is not a good situation to be in for Ole Miss. Just got to hang it up.
And that pass complete. That is French, Rufus French. 11-yard gain. That'll get back part of it.
Now you got to try to get in field goal range here, Jerry, because you're so far away. 3rd and 29. Rufus French has been active here in the second half. Didn't have a catch in the first half. Leads Ole Miss coming in with receptions. Joe Panunzio's his coach. He had Chris Mangum last year, who's now with the Carolina Panthers. They've had good tight ends at Ole Miss.
Well, talking about, there's a look at Rufus's numbers for the night. Very, very soft hands. The face of Kellen Winslow caught a tight end.
Ole Miss only the offensive coordinator. Not many plays you come up with a 3rd and 29.
Patridge gets a little pressure. Flush out of the pocket, looking downfield, has a receiver, and Grant Hurd goes up and can't hold on.
The pressure really stopped that play, but John Avery was running free down the middle of the football field, but Stuart Patridge never could get set to throw him the football. That was big there for Marshall. Those two holding calls, big.
All right, Steve Lindsay has kicked one from 52 yards, but they will not try. They will punt the ball. Kevin Cooper, who is the hang middle kicker. B.J. Summers standing on his own 7-yard line to receive. There's a look at Kevin Cooper.
That's exactly what you want right there. That's the kick you want.
Very high, and Ole Miss trying to get it inside the 5, and they will do it at the 1. No, they say it was in the end zone. The one official started to put the ball down at the 1-yard line. The other one says no, it is a touchback, and will come out to the 20.
Well, that's big there, too.
All right, incredible effort by Ole Miss to possibly try to get that ball down deep in Marshall territory, but the Thundering Herd will get it 1st and 10 on their 20-yard line. 2 seconds to play in the football game. Marshall's 4th consecutive possession starting at their own 20-yard line. Now Pennington looking downfield. Overthrows Randy Moss up about the 30.
You got to try to go to him, Jerry. Then in third quarter, Marshall only had the ball 10 plays, 39 yards. So Ole Miss dominated that quarter, but you still have to go to Moss, Randy Moss. Now, the difference in the second half is Ole Miss Art Kaufman, the defensive coordinator, has put the pressure on Chad Pennington, has not allowed him time back in the pocket.
And Doug Chapman, who ran the ball pretty effectively in the first half for Marshall, has been silent, basically shut out here in the second half. Pennington changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Play clock, and he just does get the play off. He gets pressured by Price. Great pass upfield. And John White, who began the year as a starter at tight end, makes the reception for the first down after a gain of 13.
Yeah, good throw under pressure by Chad Pennington. Again, Brock Price trying to pressure him. John White uses 6'6" frame. Misdirection play, fake to Doug Chapman coming out to the backside. Good arm strength on that ball because he had no follow-through, Chad Pennington.
All right, now Marshall trailing by 4, 21-17, trying to get their offense on track here in the fourth quarter. Pennington gets pressure, and they were trying to go inside with a flanker screen to Randy Moss, and Ole Miss had about 3 or 4 defenders right there.
Well, they read that all the way. Armigas Spearman, number 4, was right on top of Moss, and he was just running right with him on the screen.
There's an Ole Miss player down on the field. As you see some of the training staff trying to rub some of the calves that are, I'm sure, are cramping from some of the Marshall players.
As bad as Marshall's played the third quarter, Jerry, they're one play away from getting this lead back.
All right, while Tim Mullins, the head trainer for the University of Mississippi, checks out the player down, we will take a break and come back with more from the Silverdome in Pontiac. And from free safety, there's Griffin standing on the sidelines, and Strickland will play.
They're going after him, too.
And it's a jumping contest, and Moss jumped a little bit early, and the ball lands right in Timothy Strickland's hands.
Well, that was a good play by Timothy Strickland as free safety, and now Malika Griffin will come back into the ball game, but they were trying to go, and Timothy Strickland was going to give him the little out route, but does a good job of staying back on a deep throw. It was underthrown by Chad Pennington. Griffin's back in the ball game.
Well, that classic Randy Moss move of staying behind the defender and then turning in front, leaping to catch the ball and come down and just take off on a gallop. Pennington 3 of 9 for 29 yards this half. Avoids one potential tackler and has the receiver. That's LV Lavorne Coldlaw. And depending upon the spot, he should be very close to the first down.
He's got the first down, Jerry, and good play by Chad Pennington. A 3-man rush by Ole Miss. Gave him some time to throw.
There's Morris Scott, number 95. Scott had almost gotten to Pennington. He ducked under him and was able to get the ball away. Best offensive showing of the second half for the Thundering Herd of Marshall, and Pennington quickly gets rid of it. Brock Kreitz right in his face when he turned around. Kreitz coming from the backside from his weak side linebacker.
That's twice they've run the naked to Brock Kreitz, which means there's nobody out there blocking Brock Kreitz. They're trying to give a fake to the right side and figure that the defensive end on the other side will not come after the quarterback. But you see Brock Kreitz, both times he's been able to defend that play. And it's tough for the quarterback going to his left to wheel around with his head and his body and throw that ball quickly.
All right, 3 wide receivers, bottom of your screen. One of them is Moss, and they're going for him. And he will make the catch, and the flag comes down.
Well, I don't know about that. Malika Griffin's single covered, and from the play start, Malika Griffin was beat.
28-yard game.
Defensive pass interference. Penalty refused. Results in a play. First down.
Jerry, you could see it coming. As bad as they played in the third quarter, and Ole Miss had a chance to go for the juggler and didn't do it. And now Marshall's got new life. Malika Griffin beaten here by Randy Moss. A little pushing going on, and there's the catch. Marshall in business.
Randy Moss having come off to catch his breath.
Now you try to run Chapman a little bit, Jerry, because the passing game's opened up.
Deepest penetration of the second half by Marshall, and overthrows the intended receiver, Nathan Poole. Gary Thigpen, the cornerback, right with Poole step for step.
Well, when you have a player, the ability of Randy Moss, he signed by Notre Dame out of high school, and then they dropped him, and Florida State picked him up, and Bobby Bowden, he had a problem, and ended up going to Marshall, and probably is playing his last college football game tonight.
There's the numbers on Moss. 3 receptions, 105 yards, including that very first play from scrimmage for Marshall, an 80-yard touchdown grab. 2nd and 10. The Thundering Herd. This time they will give the ball to Chapman. Pretty good hole right side. He spins out of a tackle and is caught from behind by Brock Kreitz.
Well, you knew it was just time, because the way they're throwing the football now, Ole Miss is trying to defend the secondary a little bit. Doug Chapman, who has had a quiet second half, gets his handoff and gets some nice blocks. Looking to hold, but now here's the missed tackle in the secondary. A little spin move, and you can't have those missed tackles. That's Anthony McGee.
Chapman 15 carries for 100 yards. As the Thundering Herd now threatening for the first time in the second half. Chapman again, and runs into the back of his offensive lineman. That's John Wade, the center.
And he's a good center, too. John Wade, Brian Reed, Bert Scarborough. The offensive line now has taken over the line of scrimmage again. Good block. They caught him on a little angle to the left side. John Wade down the field. Mike Gillum, a nice block. Now you think Randy Moss in the fade, but if you don't want to run the ball with Chapman, you got the fade possibilities.
All right, Moss, top of your screen. We'll watch for Pennington. They throw the screen inside to Chapman, and he will walk into the end zone.
Beautiful play. Everybody and their brother went with Randy Moss.
They were all thinking what you were thinking.
Yeah.
Moss in the face.
They were thinking Randy Moss was going to get that football. Nunez, the offensive coordinator, was heading for Texas as an assistant coach with Mack Brown after this ball game.
Well, Doug Chapman from 6 yards out puts the Thundering Herd back on top. Point is up and good, and this 80-yard drive in 11 plays ends with the screenplay, the sophomore Doug Chapman. And just that quickly, with 10 minutes and 12 seconds remaining here in the football game, the Thundering Herd back on top by 3.
Anytime the police give you a traffic ticket, you have 2 important...
John Avery.
That one left the field about the 45-yard line.
Gates Brown used to hit him that way in Detroit. Him and Al Kaline and Bill Freehand and Mickey Stanley and Jim Northup. That's 68 Tiger baseball team.
That's before my time, Coach.
Yeah, they were a great team. Denny McClain, Mickey Lolich.
Oh, indeed. Well, this guy right here's got a lot going through his mind right now, knowing that he would like to somehow turn this momentum back around in these final 10 minutes and get some points.
It's going to take and make them kick over again. I think illegal. So let's see if they kick it out of bounds again. You know, when you watch the 2 receivers for Ole Miss, they try to switch at the end. And if you kick that ball down to numbers, they may not be able to get to it because they're caught in the middle of the field. Let's see if they try to switch again.
That, of course, is Ken Lucas and John Avery. Lucas 24, Avery is 20. Lucas is the speedster, the true freshman out of Cleveland, Mississippi. And Avery, of course, the Ole Miss record with 3 kickoff returns for touchdowns. Low line drive kick will go out of bounds. Again.
Yeah, that's one way to make sure you don't handle the kickoff return. But didn't take advantage of that.
All right, this time another low line drive. It'll be, no, it won't be fielded. And now Lucas gets it at his 15-yard line, 20, 25, and that's about as far as he'll get.
There's a flag. Well, that was the kind of kick you wanted right there. Bounced around a little bit. I don't think you want this penalty if it's on Marshall.
Marshall running back Javon Darling over there to help chase him out of bounds. Marshall got a break somewhat by being able to chase him out inside the 30-yard line.
After the play was ruled dead, personal foul, late hit out of bounds on the kickers, 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
Yeah, you run down there a couple times, you get tired, you want to make somebody pay.
All right, Monday at 3:30 on ESPN2, Big West Conference champ Utah State matches up with the Bearcats of Cincinnati in the first ever Humanitarian Bowl, live from Boise, Idaho. That's Monday at 3:30 on ESPN2, your home for college football. Well, that man right there cannot be very happy with that situation there. They are just giving yards away here in the fourth quarter. Avery cuts it back, dances up across the 45.
You know, Jerry, Matt Luke tonight, the center, number 50. He's had a knee injury for Ole Miss. Didn't practice the last 2 weeks, and everybody talked about that he must stay on the field tonight. You talked to the trainer. He talked about close to being in operation, but Matt Luke has given a great effort tonight at center position.
Well, incredible courage. They said he's small of body, but big of heart. Strained ligaments in his right knee. Came back and played the second half against Mississippi State. This time, Deuce McAllister tries to break free, and he will have enough for the first down. As we check in down on the sidelines with Dave Ryan. Dave?
Well, Jerry and Mike, each program for this bowl game took a very different approach in terms of their game preparation. Down at Ole Miss for 4 days last week, they ran 2-a-day practices with full pads and full hitting, plus 3 hour-and-a-half practices once they got to Michigan. Marshall, a much more traditional approach for their bowl game preparations, just 1 practice a day, not as much hitting. We'll see if that conditioning will take effect here from Ole Miss late in the fourth quarter.
You know, Dave, Tommy Tuberville talked about the fact it's almost like another spring practice. They worked a lot on conditioning on their first practice in the 2-a-days. They worked on game plan in their second practice. And McAllister, the true freshman, refusing to go down.
He's a better inside outside runner, really, than John Avery, as John Avery likes to scoot to the outside, but Deuce McAllister, 6'1", 190. The freshman who I said earlier, Notre Dame had high on their recruiting list, and Ole Miss took him away from him.
You know, Coach, I'm watching Matt Luke, the center we're talking about a minute ago, and he is barely able to get up after each play and get back to the huddle. A lot of courage for that young man, the junior from Gulfport, Mississippi.
Oh, there's no doubt, Jerry, they need Matt Luke in this football game.
SEC academic honor roll for Matt Luke. He's a legacy kid. His father, Tommy, a defensive back at Ole Miss from 1964 to 66. His brother, Tom, was a quarterback there from 89 to 91.
It's an interesting strategy move by Noel Mazzoni and Tommy Tuberville and Andy Grant, the running back coach, now to bring in Deuce McAllister late in the ball game like this and take John Avery out. Deuce McAllister obviously looks like he's got fresh legs running the football.
McAllister, super prep All-American, ranked 17th in the nation last year as a defensive back, coming out of Morton High School in Mississippi. McAllister, 2 carries for 19 yards in this possession. And he will get it again. Cuts it back and has some running room, and no. Can't quite break free. Be up down inside the 30-yard line. B.J. Cohen there to finally wrestle him down.
Well, this is good because this gives John Avery a chance to rest on the sidelines a little bit to be able to come back in a rested running back.
There's John Avery. Dislocated his left elbow on the 3rd play of the season against the University of Central Florida. Missed the next 3 football games. Came back against Vanderbilt with an impressive performance. Had a rib injury against Tulane down in the Superdome in New Orleans. McAllister, huge hole right side. He cuts to the outside all the way down to the 20-yard line.
Well, you got a hot hand. You just keep running Deuce McAllister behind Todd Wade, Rufus French, and Boyd Kitchen on the right side. Got a nice double right in here. And the linebacker, number 28, McLeod, got caught up in the double team. John Avery, very happy for the freshman running back to do well.
Very unselfish football player. Nice young man. John Avery. As McAllister back on the sidelines and Avery back in the football game.
Good strategy.
1st and 10, 20-yard line. Avery, arrested Avery, cuts it back, and not much running room.
See, there's the difference in the 2 running backs, though. McAllister's going to hit it inside a little bit quicker than John Avery. John Avery's going to stutter step and try to look for outside plays first. Still a dangerous back. And Jerry, I thought what you said early in this program when he got a chance to talk to Barry Sanders, what he said to him, that you're a great role model for me. And I just think that's so much when we need role models. Barry Sanders is an outstanding one.
You know, Avery said he told Barry Sanders, it's not what you do on the field, but what you do off, the way you carry yourself for football, that I wanted to model myself after. 2nd and 9, and lots of pressure. Patridge got it away, but John Grace just leveled him from his weak side linebacker position.
Talked about the coaching staff of Ole Miss was concerned about John Grace's blitzing ability. Just got Stuart Patridge as he was throwing that football. Last 3rd down and 9 that I remember Ole Miss having. They decided to go to Rufus French on an option route.
All right, 5 minutes, 45 seconds remaining in the football game. Marshall up by 3. And Ole Miss with a 3rd and 9 from the 20-yard line. Patridge looking toward the end zone and has the receiver. Touchdown. Grant Hurd makes the catch. A 19-yard reception.
There wasn't much room to fit that in, Jerry, and he fit it in. Against B.J. Summers.
Well, what a great pass by Stuart Patridge.
Grant Hurd had to catch at the beginning of the ball game and this catch. Go back to those kickoffs now and the penalty.
Well, Lindsey up with the extra point is no good. And the margin will stay at 3. Well, it's starting to heat up here as we wind down in the fourth quarter. It's a seesaw football game. Ole Miss going back on top.
He did a great job, and he's only a freshman, 6'3", 302 pounds. And there's the catch by Grant Hurd. But that guard, the freshman guard, Terrence Metcalf, made a good pickup on the linebacker to give Stuart Patridge the time he needed to throw that touchdown pass.
Patridge's third touchdown pass of the second half. Lindsey kicks it away. High, end over ender. Will be kneeled down in the end zone by Nathan Poole. Well, to recap the scoring here in the fourth quarter, Doug Chapman, a 6-yard touchdown reception to put Marshall up 24-21. Then with 5:39, that 19-yard reception by Grant Hurd to put Ole Miss back up 27-24. Don't forget SportsCenter coming up next at the conclusion of what is building to be quite a shootout here in this final 5 minutes and 32 seconds. And Pennington, the short toss over the middle to LV Lamorne Coldclaw.
Jerry, you go back to the field position that Ole Miss was given by Marshall because the 2 kicks out of bounds and then the personal foul. So they're starting around the 45, 48-yard line. So that puts your defense in a big bind.
And the missed extra point a moment ago
lets some things open here.
Well, it puts Marshall within a field goal of tying it up, and we could be talking overtime. The give this time, no, the fake to Chapman, wide open downfield, and Moss. Boy, gotta believe that Moss may have looked up and saw Timothy Strickland.
Well, I'll tell you what, he knows he made a big mistake because I think he took his eyes off the football and he heard Timothy Strickland, number 3, coming. First of all, he's had a tough time tonight getting off the line of scrimmage. Malika Griffin with the contact. Now watch. He takes his eye off the football, drops the ball on a big third down play here.
Oh, he did indeed look over and see Strickland coming and knew that he was going to get belted if he caught the football. 3rd and 2. The thundering herd of Marshall. Single step back. Pennington changing the play at the line of scrimmage. 2 wide receivers. He will give it to the tailback who just cut through an open 40-45. And a great run by Doug Chapman to keep the drive alive. 19-yard gain.
Big play by Doug Chapman. Just continuing to keep his feet moving. He's tired. Going to come out of the ball game here. They're replaced by Lowell Turner, his backup, who's had a big year. Well, we're going to have a fantastic finish here, Doc. 4:43 on the clock. Good cutting ability. Flat cut there. Ran by Strickland.
Well, Gary Thigpen, if he doesn't corral him, then he's going to score. Chapman, 17 carries, 127 yards tonight. And Chad Pennington looks up and realizes he's going to probably lose the on top. Fourth quarter, Marshall driving. And talk about offense, we have had 844 yards of total offense from these 2 football teams thus far tonight. And to further talk about the numbers, how about the attendance? Tonight's announced attendance, 43,340 fans. What a great way to begin a bowl game. Motion by Coldclaw. He will give the ball to Low Turner, and he will push the pile as we have a penalty. Flag on the play. R.J. Detellier from the Big East Conference.
Face mask. Defense. 5 yards. End of the run. First down.
Jerry, you're talking about the attendance tonight. George Burles has done a marvelous job here. UAW here in Detroit spent $35,000, bought 10,000 tickets for the kids of Detroit and Pontiac bust them here, gave them sandwiches. So hats off to Steve Jokic, the union leader, and Ernie Lofton.
A lot of fans coming a long way. Those folks from Marshall, 6 hours from Huntington, West Virginia. The folks from Oxford, Mississippi coming up in charter after charter, landing last night here in Detroit. First and 10. Chapman back in as a lone setback. He will get the football. Huge hole, right side, cuts it outside, back inside, and is finally chased down from behind. Malika Griffin is there, and so is Morris Scott. And Scott has not gotten up. He is having trouble getting up off the playing field.
Boy, good blocking on the right side of the line. See him come off. They get the block down by the tackle, and the guard pulls around. That's Jamie Rogers down, Brian Reed around, the tight end Jared Keeley blocking number 84. They got it sealed off pretty well. Now you're in the secondary. You get a good block for your wide receiver, Jared Long, and you're in business.
All right, Scott had a shoulder problem coming into this football game and went off holding that right shoulder, so we'll try to get an update on him. Chapman, 18 carries, 144 yards. Pennington to Moss inside the 10-yard line. Gain of 14. It'll be first and goal for the Thundering Herd.
With that big frame he has, 6'5", 210, he can yield off the Gary Thigpen, who's 5'9", 165. He just does a nice job positioning his body. Short post, he fakes up the field. Now he just shields off the little defensive back with his body. Gary Thigpen on the tackle. Marshall trying to put this one away.
Moss, 4 receptions for 119 yards tonight. And what will probably be his final college football game.
Got to be thinking fade again.
And Pennington is leveled from behind. Great rush by Andre Harrison, who leads the team in sacks, coming into the night, the 2-year starter out of Washington, D.C.
And Jerry, down here, because the 2 receivers, LB Kolkoff is 6'3", Randy Moss is 6'5", so you've got the possibility of the fade against Gary Thigpen, 5'9", Malika Griffin, 5'8".
Second and goal, line of scrimmage, the Ole Miss 9-yard line. Marshall trailing by 3 points, 3 minutes, 9 seconds to play.
Wide, they've got their wide receivers against the corners, 1-on-1.
Pennington looking to the end zone, and he can't hold on. Big pin right in front of Randy Moss.
Tried to go to the fade to Randy Moss and underthrew it a little bit under pressure. Chad Pennington trying to pick his big, tall receiver on the fade. Good job by Gary Thigpen getting his hands on him. Just didn't give him any room to make that catch.
Thigpen had a right arm in between 2 of Moss's hands and was able to strip the ball free before Moss could pull it in the end zone. Third and goal, 9-yard line. Shotgun formation, Pennington, and he will give it inside. 2-yard line, 1-yard line, touchdown, Marshall. Doug Chapman from 9 yards out puts the Thundering Herd back on top.
With the 4 wide receivers, Jerry. Opened up that draw.
Now Billy Malashevich on for the extra point, and that is up and good. And now there's a 4-point differential with Marshall up 31-27.
Jerry, the big thing now is Marshall hasn't been able to kick the ball off, so they need a good kickoff against Ole Miss to try to pin them back there and not give them great field position. Here's the run, 4 wide receivers. Good job ducking in, a good power run there by Doug Chapman to get in that end zone.
Chapman had rushed for over 100 yards in 6 of his last 7 football games. And including a career-high 180 yards this year against Akron.
Everybody take the field with them.
There's a look at Chapman from Chester, Virginia. The scoring drive, 9 plays, 80 yards, 2 minutes, 42 seconds. And a great call by the offensive coordinator, Tim Nunez, on that draw play to Chapman.
Hey, Jerry, you know the other thing that's interesting, Marshall's got an outstanding football team. 37 of their players are from their home state, West Virginia, so they build a lot of loyalty when you get them that close.
And don't forget, Sports Center coming up next at the end of this exciting shootout here at the Silverdome.
Here's the big mystery of the night, the kickoff team.
The freshman, J.R. Jenkins, and he will just roll it along the ground. He picks up at the 25. They shuffle it back to Avery, and he's trying to get to the outside, and all that maybe for a yard. Doug Hodges, the cornerback, will run him out of bounds at the Ole Miss 25-yard line.
Ole Miss has their full complements of timeouts. Now, they failed just before a half without any timeouts, but they got 3 timeouts. 2:44 on the clock. Marshall feels victory. Their defense needs to suck it up one more time.
Great comeback in the second half. In the third quarter by Ole Miss, and then in the fourth quarter, a thundering herd of Marshall. Couldn't ask for a better football game to kick off the Motor City Bowl. Reception up around the 39-yard line. Corey Peterson.
George Burroughs has to be happy with his first game. The crowd and what's happened here in the Motor City Bowl.
Well, they sold almost 50,000 tickets here for this first football game. Had a crowd of over 43,000 here in attendance.
Jerry, you think back on the last game of the year, Ole Miss took the ball against Mississippi State at last drive and was able to punch it in for a score.
Stuart Packard showing a lot of poise and composure down in Starkville, Mississippi. Inside handoff to McAllister, and he cuts through an opening to the 45. And now they blow the whistle. But not before McAllister had gained about 6 yards.
One of the Marshall players is injured, and this was calling timeout.
That's Girardi Mercer, who was down, and now will get up and trot off the field.
Now we're going to charge Ole Miss with a timeout.
I was trying to read Tommy Tuberville's lips. He was saying, who called timeout? Well, and Rufus French is 6'4", 245. Patrick's trying to escape. Throws it in the direction of Corey Peterson.
Well, that was number 5 again. B.J. Cohen with the pressure. He has been in the backfield all evening.
Second and 10, 2 minutes to play. Patrick, his numbers for the night: 315 yards, 3 touchdowns, all 3 coming in the second half. And 1 interception. Second and 10. Pretty good protection for Patrick. Looking downfield, has a receiver, and he is about a yard shy. That is Peterson, the flanker. John Gray is there to keep Peterson from turning to reach for the first down. That'll bring up a 3rd and short.
Peterson wide open on the curl. They had a curl flat route. Rufus French in the flat.
Now, no question they're in 4-down territory. Clock running down. No doubt in Tommy Tuberville's mind. As they hand the ball off to McAllister, he cuts it through an opening, 30, 25, 20, and finally brought down at about the 18-yard line by B.J. Summers, who saved the touchdown.
Well, McAllister has ignited this offense in the second half, in the fourth quarter. He's come in with fresh legs. He's run hard inside, and he's been able to break off some big plays. He's going to go out of the ball game now in favor of John Avery, who's probably a better pass receiver out of the backfield.
McAllister, 6 carries, 62 yards. That 24-yard run. And now Patrick has a receiver inside the 10. And He did not get out of bounds, and the clock will run less than a minute to play. That is Grant Hurd. Well, that extra point by Ole Miss that was missed on their previous touchdown has provided a 4-point margin for Marshall. So a field goal is not going to help them much.
Not an option, Jerry. They use a timeout here. They still have one timeout left.
You almost wonder, you don't want to score too quickly. Randy Moss on the field. What a football game.
Been a great game. I want to pass along to George Perlis' mother is going to be 90 years old. Nellie, she's watching the ball game tonight on January 5th, 90 years old. So again, a great evening for George and his committee and the fans that came out here tonight. This bowl game is going to be a good bowl game for teams across the country.
Oh, indeed. What a way to kick off our National Car Rental Bowl Week coverage with this inaugural Ford Motor City Bowl. Two evenly matched football teams from the MAC and the SEC. A seesaw battle here in the second half. 4 points separate these two football teams with less than a minute to play. And Ole Miss, very reminiscent of what happened in their final game of the year in Starkville, Mississippi.
Jerry, they've got Deuce McAllister in there. He's a better inside runner. Let's see if they go to him.
First and goal to the 9-yard line. McAllister to the 2-yard line.
And that's a first down, so that'll stop the clock. See, he runs so hard inside. He's got good leg drive. He's got good body lean. He's just a tough inside runner. And you take out a John Avery, I mean, you got to have a lot of confidence in your young freshman back.
The Ole Miss fans that say McAllister reminds them of Too Innocent, the former Rebel running back that has such a bruising style inside. And he leaps in and touchdown. Touchdown for Ole Miss on that leap by the true freshman, Deuce McAllister.
He's been the difference. His style of running has helped the Rebels tonight. Good blocking again. I can't say enough about Matt Luke, that center. He's played solely on guts.
Well, Tommy Tuberville going to go for two, but they got about 28 players on the field.
You know, they're going to go for one now. I think you got to go for one here.
They were holding up two fingers initially. Now they got...
Yeah, you got to go for one. All you did was row it.
They got the offense off and the kicking team back on. The kick is up. Lindsey. It is good. And there's a penalty on the play. So not so fast.
Not so fast, Jonesy.
What a football game. Big East officiating crew here at the Silverdome tonight, talking it over.
You have to go for one here. The substitution there.
We have no flag on the play. The point is good.
Now Marshall has to get a kickoff return. They still have 2 timeouts left. Touchdown by Deuce McAllister, being able to stretch the ball out over the line. Gets good hurdle and gets that ball way over the line for the touchdown.
All right, here's a reaction from the Ole Miss bench. They know it's 6. Yeah, McAllister, 8 carries for 71 yards and a touchdown in the 4th quarter alone.
Jerry, I want to just say, there's the scoring drive. 2:26, again, started from the 35-yard line or the 25-yard line. 9 plays. Stuart Patridge getting used to that against Mississippi State. Took his team down for the winning score and then a 2-point conversion and again tonight. But it's been fun working with you. Enjoyed it very much.
Well, I've enjoyed it too.
A great ball game. As you said, this is what the bowl season's all about.
Well, and don't forget Sports Center coming up next. All the highlights of what happened here tonight. Games around the country. The NBA. What's going to come up on National Car Rental Bowl Week in college football just getting kicked off.
Not over yet, Jerry. 2 timeouts. A lot of time to get down there to kick that tying field goal.
And Lindsey kicks it halfway to Wisconsin. Out of the end zone.
That's
speaks. Did not want to give Randy Moss a chance to grab that football.
Well, do you think they'll double Randy Moss here? I think they'll triple team him at this point.
Trip him? You said they'll trip him? I believe
they'll do that, too.
I agree with you. They'll trip him. Well, folks.
Randy Moss, a Heisman candidate to the end. Outstanding season for Marshall.
And if he does decide to leave the Thundering Herd, what a career he's had at Marshall. What a great effort for Marshall University up in Huntington, West Virginia. Pennington, and intended for Moss. Gary Thigpen there in the coverage. 25 seconds to play.
Jerry, this Mid-American Conference made themselves proud tonight with this effort by this Marshall football team. They won their league. They had a playoff game with Toledo, beat a very good Toledo team who beat Purdue, an outstanding team. This is a very good conference, the Mid-American.
I totally agree. And, of course, you can't say enough about Tommy Tuberville, what he has done at Ole Miss in 3 years. As the pass is overthrown. Tuberville, in 3 years at Ole Miss, has never lost a non-conference football game. He is a perfect 9-0 at Ole Miss.
That's pretty good.
He has 68 kids on scholarship. 68 of those, 10 are walk-ons. He has 58 legitimate Division I college football players on this football team, and he went 7-4 in the SEC.
He's done a nice job, SEC Coach of the Year. And Marshall's done a very good job. 1AA moving up to Division I this year, and they show you how tough the Division I AA teams are around the country. This is a good football team.
All right, over the middle, and Moss has it at the 35-yard line. That will stop the clock. Good enough for the first down. 12 seconds. Brock Price brings him down, and now Moss is slow in getting up.
He's got to kill the clock right here.
Marshall with 2 timeouts left.
I don't think they have any timeouts left, right? They got 2 on the board here. They're going to take one here. There's a little confusion on how many they had.
Call timeout.
All right. What they were trying to do, Jerry, was a first down play, and they were trying to line up real quick and kill the clock and save the timeout.
And don't forget SportsCenter coming up very shortly. 12 seconds to play. Pippen speaks. The Michigan-Syracuse hoop highlights. NFL playoff previews. Speaking of NFL playoffs, how about the performance here in this field last week by Barry Sanders? Congratulations. 2,000 yards in a season. Only the 3rd time in the NFL history that a back has done it. O.J. Simpson and Eric Dickerson. 184 yards rushing by Barry Sanders to put the Lions in the playoffs. NFC wildcard game at Tampa Bay on Sunday.
How about Ward Dunn? Rookie of the year this year. Out of Florida State, a great young man there, too. Another great role model.
Exceptional young man, both on and off the playing field.
I'd say Chad Pennington tonight, folks, has put his name in front of the audiences around the country as a future big-time quarterback. Got a big-time arm and a great quarterback mind.
12 seconds to play. Pennington back to pass, looking downfield, and has Moss, who has it. Oh, the ball is stripped free, and Brock Price stripped the football, and the officials say it is Ole Miss football with 1 second on the clock.
Yeah, you can pick up the hymnals now. Church is out here with Brock Price making that play.
And how appropriate is the fact that Nate Wayne, who wears the number 38, the Chucky Mullins Courage Award, he is the man who recovers the fumble.
Well, Marshall's really upset. Chad Pennington threw his helmet and did not like that call. Bob Pruitt is giving him an earful on the sideline. Randy Moss getting free. Strickland just misses the play, and let's see what happens. Brock Price, number 14, pulls it out. And Nate Wayne on the recovery.
1 second to play, and there's the frustration What a great effort by Chad Pennington. And so the inaugural Motor City Bowl, the Ford Motor City Bowl, goes to Ole Miss. Once again, our final score, Ole Miss 34, Marshall 31. Coming up next is Sports Center. For Mike Godfrey, Dave Rod, and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Jerry Punch. Good night from Pontiac, Michigan. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader